welcome in. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
We are going to discuss some veteran affairs this afternoon. We're going to find a bunch of articles to talk about with some of the new stuff that's going on. And kind of throw it out there and see what everybody thinks about it. Maybe we can come up with some good ideas to pass along to the Secretary of the VA and maybe get some changes made, you know?
Yeah,
You never know until you try.
alright.
There we go. There it is. What the heck was that noise? Some kind of truck thing out here doing something weird.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear that? Like a low humming, almost like a lawnmower sound. I don't know. I guess I'm just a weirdo.
Could be. I mean, we all are.
Nothing wrong with being weird. NBC investigates nonprofit that got its $18 million a month contract ended by Doge. Finds empty facility and revenue of $1.1 billion in 2022.
Huh.
That's crazy.
That's the corruption. Hi, Brady.
Oh my. Oh, somebody liked the show on YouTube already. So let's see if who's going to jump into chat first and say hello.
My guess is Thomas.
That'd be my guess too, but it might be Jay.
Or it could be Dave, too.
Yeah, I think Dave's home from his trip. I thought he was going to be gone all week, but maybe with the snow and stuff, they decided to cut it short. Because that was quite a bit of snow for a spring storm, you know?
Yeah, I was.
And that little puppy.
Yeah, puppy was cute.
I'm throwing a link to YouTube to some friends of mine in
Ouch. Okay.
um
Ouch. Ooh.
you all right?
Yeah, and there's Thomas.
Good
Ah,
afternoon, Thomas.
listening
Listening
and
and
vacuum packing chicken.
I used to do that for a living. Giant vacuum seal machine.
And yeah, I'm okay. It was just my knee.
Just the knees kind of suck some days.
They've been doing that every day.
That's a sign that you're going to maybe need knee surgery eventually. Not trying to
I've
jinx
already
you or
had one
anything.
knee surgery. Had an arthroscopic surgery on my right knee. I need one on my left.
Oof.
And I do not. That is the worst surgery ever. Is your knees.
You haven't had replacement, right? You just had the orthoscopic.
Yep. Just to, like, the muscle, um, right here.
Mm-hmm.
They, cut that. So my knee cap goes straighter.
Yep. I had that done.
So,
Yeah, your kneecap doesn't track right, so they have to cut the muscle and tendons and readjust it so it tracks perfectly down the center like it's supposed to.
yeah, and the right knee, while it does help a little bit, it's not all the way. And I had a orthopedic surgeon actually see a fracture in my kneecap and a little to no cartilage in my knee. And then another surgeon was like, no, 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 we're not doing this. No, no, no. And um, they said, no, we don't have that. And it's like, well, then why the fuck does my knee hurt so fucking bad? It's like, well, you got patellofemoral pain syndrome. What is that?
What?
Yeah, I was literally running and I felt something snap in my left knee. That ain't a patellofemoral pain syndrome type deal.
Hmm.
That was something snapped and probably needed to be fucking fixed. And they didn't. Because I was young. I was like 21 when it happened. And I was on a profile for most of that time. And then towards the end of my career, doctor, she was like, you need to run. Like, you need to lose weight, stuff like that. Because I was fat, not gonna lie. But she didn't renew the profile. And so I started running again. And I kind of dealt with the pain. And now I'm getting it fixed all these years later. And
Yeah.
they're still saying I'm young. No shit, but I was in the military.
Yeah, they wanna. They did that stuff to me forever too, and um, it pissed you off. But thankfully, I had a surgeon that listened, and he's learned over the time that every time they went in and did exploratory surgery after all the testing came back and showed there was nothing wrong, they
Yeah,
would always find stuff. So I was like, oh, that's not good. So he took a chance and did all the replacements and stuff, and they've been hugely life changing, honestly.
yeah.
So, alrighty, here's something we can talk about. It says, here is the training that
Hi,
the
Andrea.
Army says is no longer mandatory. The changes come as part of a broader focus shift towards war fighting readiness and removes burdens on soldiers to do extra training in other categories, Army officials announced. The Army is cutting hours worth of training that were previously mandatory for soldiers, including the basics of combat medicine and a primer on the laws of war. The new approach to so-called mandatory training tasks, officials say, will make a long list of courses and training events optional, with commanders allowed to pick and choose which training their troops are likely to need. I don't know. I think the combat medicine one would
That's
be
the
a
one
big
my
one.
face kind of dropped on.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's like
mean,
that's important, especially in training accidents.
yeah, I want somebody out there that knows what the hell they're doing, not somebody going to be sitting there going, "What do I do? What do I do?"
Yeah. And if they're talking like regular basic training, that basic training is supposed to be hard. If they're talking about outside of basic, eh, but you still need to keep on top of things because you never know when a war will pop off.
Oh no. Well, that sucks. Well, so much
What?
for that. I was going to take Katie to do that this summer, but now I guess we're not. Um, we have it's called pitch and putt. It's not, full time golf, but not, miniature golf. It's in between. Thomas said, "Be right back."
Yeah.
But apparently, the place I was going to take Katie to do that right here outside of Mannheim is closing due to sinkholes.
Oh wow.
A longtime golf course in Lancaster County announced it will be closing after nearly 60 years of operations. On Sunday, March 30th, the owners of Evergreen Golf Course at 1503 Lidditz Road in Lancaster County announced on Facebook that after nearly 60 years, they would be closing the golf course down. That sucks. I have some good memories there, including one of my friends actually hitting um, somebody in the head with a golf ball. What in the
That
world are
too?
you guys doing? Sorry, then. Give me 1 second. Something's going on.
Okay. Hi Brady. Hi Brady.
Okay, I don't know. They all looked out the door like something was happening, like they had heard cats fighting or something. So I went to just double check, and everybody seems fine. So yeah,
Okay.
I yelled for Fluff because she's usually the one that gets into a fight with Leo lately, and
Yeah.
I yelled for him, and he was between the house and the garage over here. He came out and went, "Meow!" Like, what? What do you want? Why are you bothering me? So. We should ask Andrea to come up here and talk. I
Andrea,
don't
do
think
you
she's
want
ever
to
been
come
up
and
here.
play? That sounded so creepy. I'm sorry.
Whee!
I am half out of it. I had nightmares last night. Uh, Chris, you already know about it, but yeah, they woke me up a few times, so I'm a little delirious.
Yeah, I get it. Let me see, where is... There she is. I'll send
Hello,
her a right.
children. Do you want to come and play?
I've known some, like, creepy, like, twins that used to, like, try and play that pretend to be those kids from
The Shining.
yeah. Andrew said, "What? I'm sorry, I heard my name. I sent you a link if you want to come up and talk with us."
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my. I'm guessing Fred's probably asleep. He's been working weird hours.
Yeah, which is what I was thinking of when you asked me that question. So, because if he wasn't working the weird hours, he could be in for just a bit.
Chocolate milk. Yummy, yummy.
It goes right through me. I know you know. Oh, she's visiting her grandkids.
Ah, okay. No problem. Nothing to be sorry for. I just figured we'd ask. Kelly, are you sitting on the kids?
Probably.
It looks like it. What a weirdo.
And that's
No.
why Boo and all of them are weird. They got sat on.
What was that funny part of Roadhouse at the end? I had a polar bear following me. You're not a Roadhouse fan, Patrick Swayze? Well,
Never seen it.
Patrick Swayze did the original, and then Jake Gyllenhaal, they had him do some kind of messed up remake. Yeah, I was like,
I haven't seen it, so that's kind of
okay.
why I gave the dull face.
Yeah. So this was just posted by the Pennsylvania Senate Republicans here. It said a minimum of 25 years in prison awaits PA drug dealers for selling fentanyl, resulting in a fatal overdose if legislation championed by Senate Republicans and passed by the Senate is enacted into law. And then somebody said, "Don't worry, Josh will veto it as soon as he's able." Yeah, I bet he will, piece of shit.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
You know, I'm not a vengeful person most of the time, but these people, these freaking asshole Democrats who vote down and veto these laws that make sense, that protect people. Hi, Ruth. You know, they're evil, and they're only going to realize how evil they are when something happens to somebody that they care about.
Okay, I'm doing this.
Then they're going to have to sit there and either, you know, prove that they're the hypocrites that they are, which we all know most of them are hypocrites, and, you know, sit there and say, "Oh, it's not a big deal that my family member was ended by a fentanyl overdose because, you know, of a drug dealer," and be okay with that person getting away with it. You know, I don't know, maybe I'm being weird.
You're fine. I'm moving my stuff because I'm having issues getting up if I want something from the fucking kitchen. So I gotta move this shit.
Let's see how the markets are today, since you know, everybody was saying that everything's going to drop and bomb, and since yesterday. What am I opening here? I know we're going to cancel that. I don't think.
Oh yeah, there's a new dishwasher.
Yay! Have you tested it yet?
Yep. It's the inside. You?
It's really not that different. So, yeah, the stock exchange, they're trying to say that it dropped and all this other stuff. It's down
Yeah.
30%, not 30%, but 0.30% for the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. The Dow Jones is down 11 points. The S&P is up 0.38%, and the New York, so it doesn't look bad. So it's just a bunch of fear mongering.
Yep, they always do that. Hi, Brady.
They want everybody to freak out and panic and do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yep, 'cause that's how they roll. Panic, panic, panic.
Well, I had somebody that was freaking out because of the stock market dropping last week, and I said, listen, they're betting against things. People want you to fail. They want you to freak out so that you sell at a low price so they can buy it low and then resell it and make money later. I said, just ride it out, give it time and let it recuperate. It'll come back up. I said, just be patient. I mean, do you need the money like in the next 2 weeks or so? And let it go. Well, do nothing with it.
That hurt just a little bit.
Hurry back, Andrea.
New stuff.
Oh my.
New stuff is fun. But it hurts opening it up. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh well. By the way, Brady's eye is so much better. It's actually not infected anymore.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was, like I said, I think he was carrying on with the other babies and one of them caught him. Maybe.
More than likely.
And just irritated it. Come here, Whiskers. You want to come here?
Okay.
If you're comfortable, I'm not going to make you move. So what's going on up your way, Ruth? Are you having a good day up there? I know you had some storms and some snow and ice and all kinds of stuff. I think you've had like every season, like the last week and a half or so, if I remember correctly.
Let's see if I got it.
Haha, I win. Now I gotta wipe off.
It's one of those I have to wait and see if I got it right.
Caitlin, she's got my daggone. Remember that mess she made yesterday? At the end of the show?
Like, yeah.
I've got to clean it up after the show today. I'm gonna beat her.
If it doesn't work in the next 5 minutes, then I will play around with it some more.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
Oh my. Bruce said it was cold and very wet this morning. It's spring weather this afternoon. Yeah, same here. We had fog and rain this morning, and it was down to I think 45 this morning, and now we're at almost 70 this afternoon.
Hi, Brady.
So,
He's mad I'm not in the bed.
oh, it's like, come on, Mom, come on, let's go. I demand we go to bed.
I demand we go to bed or you pet me and let me up there. No, you're not coming up here. I don't want you up here. You know this.
What are you?
Brady. See, here's the Brady.
Hi, Brady.
But you can see his eye. Look. It was gumping out with white goop.
Yeah, that's never fun.
No. Hi, Simba. Hi.
Simba's like,
Brady,
hey,
no.
my turn. It's my turn.
It's your fault. What the fuck are you doing at the table?
I is a
Because Simba's
human.
never seen me sit at the table before. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said Simba says I is human now. I sit at table too. Oh my. So, like, Mom will hold the outside cats in her lap when she's sitting at the kitchen table, and then she'll put food on the table for them and let them eat off the table as long as they don't jump up onto the table. And I'm like,
That's funny.
that makes absolutely zero sense, right? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're letting them lick off the table. I said, what does it matter if they lick off of it or they put their paws up on it? She's like, whatever, it's my rule. I'm like, damn it.
Get down, Brady. He just smacked his head, trying to bang his head up against my my freaking elbow.
Uh-oh. Wow.
He nipped it. He was like, I'm trying to love bite it to get my attention.
Yeah, Yang does that to me all the time. It's funny. I'll be petting him, and then all of a sudden he'll pull his head back, and I'm like, "You're gonna bite me, aren't you?" And he'll start gnawing on me. He doesn't do it hard or anything.
Though.
Yeah, he doesn't do it hard or anything. Just Mom gets upset when he tries to do it. She doesn't actually let him do it, and I'm like, he's not going to hurt you. He's just nipping you. It's a love nip, is what they call it.
Yeah.
So it's a cat's way of showing affection.
Alright.
So, oh my.
Okay. Okay, now I understand. My dishwasher. I have to hold it on start for 3 seconds for it to start.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah. So.
Okay,
but it went through a cycle without dishes, a normal cycle. Now it's got dishes in it with the soap. So we'll see if it leaks or not.
To leak or not to leak? That is the question.
Alright. It better not leak. Because then they have to come back up here and replace the water valve system.
I don't know why they didn't just do that to begin with. That way they didn't have to come back and do it. Come back a second time,
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. Unless they didn't
Yeah.
have the part, and they were like, well, then we got to go get, we can't put it in today because we've got to wait on that one
Order.
part. I think I
Yeah.
would have told them just to wait then. But
Yeah. They said the water valve, if it was halfway, it would leak, but if it was full blast or full off, it wasn't leaking, which is weird.
yeah, that does sound weird. But hey, what do I know?
What do I know either?
Oh
I'm
my.
still figuring out a fucking air conditioner unit that I've been using for the past month, and hey, but I'm so used to like the wall temperature stuff, like, hey, turn it on to this temp, and I don't have to do shit.
Yeah. Alrighty. Excuse me.
You need coffee. So do I.
Yeah, if I drink
But at
coffee
the
now, I'll
same,
be up all night.
yeah, well, yeah, with me, probably not, but I don't want to risk it right now.
Okay, so I'm going to read this article that we were going to start this morning, but we got sidetracked with the video on Sean Ryan. It says new research would assess the potential benefit of psychedelics for treating PTSD and alcohol use disorder in veterans. It said today the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs announced that it will fund a study on methylene dioxymethamphetamine assisted or MDMA assisted therapy for post-traumatic stress disorder and alcohol use disorder among veterans. This is the first VA-funded study for psychedelic-assisted therapy since the 1960s. Can they really call that? Because didn't they use it for like a psyop where they were giving you guys like a bunch of LSD and shit? And
Yep,
now they're calling that a psychedelic-assisted therapy?
I guess so.
I guess they're trying to change the narrative like they'd like to do.
More than likely.
It says VA researchers affiliated with Brown University and Yale University will evaluate the potential of MDMA-assisted therapy as a treatment option for veterans with both PTSD and AUD. Participants will receive psychotherapy sessions enhanced by MDMA, a psychedelic compound believed to increase emotional openness, reduce fear, and promote introspection during therapy. Some participants will be randomly chosen to receive an active placebo, which will be a lower dose of MDMA. Wait, that makes zero sense.
A
Oh,
placebo as something like Zoloft or like a sugar pill, not the
yeah.
actual fucking drug.
Yeah, how are they gonna? I mean, what if you're giving the placebo to somebody who weighs like 150 pounds less than everybody else? That's going to be like the same doses that they're getting. That just
Yeah,
it sounds like it's already flawed. The
it is.
study
It's with the VA.
the study is scheduled to take place at Providence VA Medical Center in Rhode Island and the West Haven VA Medical Center in Connecticut, and is anticipated to begin enrollment in the fiscal year 2025. The grant award is approximately $1.5 million over 5 years. As with all VA studies, treatments will be conducted in a clinical setting with strict safety protocols and following all appropriate federal guidelines for conducting studies with controlled substances. Okay, so I don't know that I would agree to this because you don't know, you might end up like those poor beagle puppies with the sand fleas.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the sample is okay. I thought you were going to talk about the other one.
No,
Don't.
no, no,
Not
no.
that one.
So, yeah, I mean, we already know that they have no scruples when it comes to torturing people and animals. So, pharmaceutical grade MDMA will be used, and participants will be closely monitored to ensure their well-being throughout the study. Right. VA and the Biden-Harris administration are committed to promoting the wait, what? This hasn't even been pushed for yet. They're just pushing it through. Okay, well, I think we get the gist of it. I'm not going to give credit to people who don't deserve credit.
They don't. Simba.
No. Uh-oh. Did they spill a drink or just knock pencils over?
No, she got up here and pencils went flying.
You need a spray
And they're
bottle.
sharp. I do need a spray bottle. It's at the house.
You can get one at the Dollar Tree for cheap.
And now she gets off as soon as I put all of the colored pencils in front of my monitor. Stop, Brady. He's trying to sniff the colored pencil that was in between my toes because I was trying to bring it up, and he's trying to bring his nose up to the sharp point. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope.
So here, I'll make you laugh. Make people laugh with a funny picture. If you can read it.
I've seen that. Two of my friends have never met each other. Before they spoke, I told both of them that the other is a bit deaf. They shouted at each other for a few minutes before they realized that I'm just an asshole.
That does sound like something I would do, though.
Yep.
And then, of course, this wonderful one here. It says, "Don't put your fingers where you won't put your wiener." Oh, shoot. Thomas is back. He said, "Hi, Ruth. Snow is melting fast here." Well, hopefully it doesn't lead to flooding or anything, Thomas. You want it to melt and go into the ground and replenish your water tables so that you helps to take care of any drought that you might have, that sort of thing. So, but yeah, to anyone that of the veterans who goes and gets into that study, I hope they treat you good, and I hope that you get some good out of it. I do know some people who are in MDMA therapy, and they said that it does actually help. So, yeah. Good times.
Good times, good times. Blah, 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 blah.
Bruce says, "The snow we got yesterday got washed away with the heavy rain we had last night and this morning." Aha. See, Katie was talking about how the town of Mannheim floods. And they've done some things to fix part of that problem. But there's still other parts of, out here where we live that can have flooding. And we've lived up here on the hill outside of town for, since I was 14 years old. My parents have lived here. And yeah, there's only one time that we've ever had any kind of flooding issues, like with basements or something up here. And that was that 2011 Tropical Storm Lee I was telling you about. I got home the next morning after it had gone down substantially, and I could actually find. It took me a long time to find roads to get home, but when I finally got home, the neighbors called and they're like, "Are y'all busy?" And I'm like, "Well, I just got home. I've been up all night. I was gonna try and get some sleep." And they're like, "Do you think you guys could come over and help us? We have a pump hooked up and it's not keeping up." And so we ended up going to the neighbor's house and helping them, um, with keeping their basement from flooding and going underwater. So, yeah, that was a good time.
I'm here. I got messages. Blah, 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 blah. I gotta be at the American Legion on Saturday. So I won't be on the show.
On Saturday?
Oh yeah, there is no show, duh.
I mean, we can do a show if people want one.
No,
Thomas says, I've heard that ecstasy is showing some great results for PTSD. Huh.
Yeah, there's some stuff that's good. I'm just weary with the VA doing it.
Yeah. I do not blame you. Like it says, the worst word you can hear is, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Yep.
See, and all this time we thought they're going there, or everybody's running around going, like the guy from South Park, drugs are bad. Okay.
Drugs are bad, okay. Not Mr. Garrison. Fuck, it's the counselor. Mr. Mackey.
Mackie. Yep. Oh, God. The other guy was Mr. Hanky.
Mr. Garrison.
Yep, Mr. Garrison. Mrs. Garrison, didn't he have a sex change?
No. Well, I guess he did now. That they were trying to stay with the times.
Well, hell, they made Cartman have a sex change at one point.
Shit.
I liked the South Park where they were making fun of Disney and Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
And they kept going, put a chick in her, make her gay and lame. Oh my. Well, back to bagging chicken. Well,
Alright, Thomas.
Tell you what, why don't we just go ahead and wrap things up here, because not much is going on. We don't have many people interacting with us here, and
Alright. Yeah, sounds good.
Some stuff I can take care of. So.
Okay, doke.
Yeah.
Well then, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, if anybody needs me, you can call me. I'll be here. So.
Later, y'all.
Take care. Have a good day, y'all. Peace. We're out.